We're going to be talking about a problem a lot of detailers have, and that is my customers aren't coming back. What's next? What do I do after this? And I want to preface this with a story. Have you ever went to a restaurant and the food was okay, the service was okay, the prices were okay, and you weren't upset, you didn't complain, you didn't go on Google and trash anyone, you just didn't come back. You just didn't come back because there were better options out there. And the experience of what you went through was just mediocre. It was just okay. And I know we all like to think that we are the best detailers. We have the best shop, the best customer experience. We're the best option. And maybe the actual technical detailing work of it was very, very good. But maybe we need to look at that also, because more often than not, if customers aren't returning, if they're not coming back for maintenance, if they're not referring people, it's not that you did bad work or you had a bad customer experience. It just wasn't right. It wasn't something that resounded so much in their mind that they said, I have absolutely got to go back to this shop when I get another car and have this done again, or have this car detailed again 6 months from now. Sometimes, and I know no one wants to face this, but this is the most probable, and statistically, it's the most likely thing that happens if you're having trouble getting the same people back in the shop, is that they simply weren't wowed with what you did. It was just okay. Example, going back to the restaurant thing, there's a little restaurant here in Benton, Illinois. It's a little Mexican style restaurant. And one day they opened earlier than the restaurant my son and I would normally go to on Thursdays. And we're like, well, let's just try it out. We've never ate there before. Let's try it out. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just okay. I told him, I was like, you'd probably get more consistent food there, but the flavor of Taco Bell is probably a little bit better. We've never been back. We've never been back, even though it's right there. It's 3 minutes from where we live. The prices weren't bad, but the food, the service was just mediocre. And a lot of detailers, knowingly or unknowingly, are running into this problem, that they have a mediocre customer experience. And sometimes, and I know no one wants to face this, we're actually putting forth a mediocre detailing product. Now, I don't want to sit there and be that guy when it comes to the detailing stuff, because I could walk around anyone's shop, anyone's work as a detailer with the eye, and you could do the same thing to me, and I could find flaws. I could find mistakes. I could find things missed. Customers don't always see that stuff. But the big question is, are you making sure not only that you're setting expectations before the service, but are you hitting the key things they want to see in a paint correction? Oftentimes, and I've said this for many, many years, customers will tell you what they really, really care about, what they're really, really concerned with. They'll come, you go and you're doing your inspection after they drop it off. And let's say that you're doing an interior detail with this package that you're selling them, and they'll say, man, the stains on my seatbelt, they just drive me crazy. They're telling you what their pain point is. So you could do an epic job on the rest of that interior, absolutely knock it out. But if you don't fix the dirty seatbelt, in their mind, because they've already pointed that out to you, they're going to gravitate towards that. And they may not be mad, they may not be upset, but they may be just slightly inwardly disappointed because that one thing that they really, really, really wanted fixed wasn't done quite to their expectation. Now, the one thing I will say with ceramic coatings, higher end jobs, a lot of what they get out of the ceramic coating is going to be based on the expectation you give them ahead of time. I, for one, do not tell people that a ceramic coating 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, even with maintenance, is going to bead and sheet water like day one. I don't tell them that. We're putting something on there that is 100 times thinner than this business card. We're expecting it to be hard. We're expecting it to be hydrophobic. We're expecting it to be chemical resistant and all this stuff on something that's 100th the thickness of this business card. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever the crazy manufacturer says, expect it to not just be doing its job, but to be doing its job like day one. If you give customers that expectation a year later, 2 years later, when you know darn well they're not going to wash it the way that you want them to wash it, they're going to go through automatic car washes, they're going to not treat the car the way you want them to treat the car, and the coating, the car itself, is not going to look like it did, exactly like it did 5 years down the road when it rolls back into your shop. If you set that expectation for them, though, what's going to happen? Disappointment. I heard this saying decades ago. My father actually told me this when I was a child. He said that all unhappiness comes from failed expectations. And it's very, very true. All unhappiness comes from failed expectations. You paid for the ceramic coat. You expected the ceramic coat to do what it's supposed to do. You paid for a $40 haircut. I don't have that problem, but you paid for a $40 haircut. It didn't make you look 20 years younger. You had that expectation in your mind, no matter how unrealistic it was, and now you're disappointed. So doing I'm just going to say it, a mediocre job on the detailing work and doing a mediocre job on the customer experience will 100% lead to failed expectations down the road. And the reason why customers aren't coming back, that's the primary one, is that what you did, it was good, but it wasn't great. The second one, the second one I want to tackle in this, why customers aren't coming back, is because they haven't flipping heard from you. They haven't heard from you. You haven't sent them an email. You're not doing Facebook retargeting ads. You didn't send them a reminder 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road to say, hey, it may be time for maintenance on your ceramic coated car. You didn't do any of that. Yes, but I would say 95% of detailers and even small business operators in general are doing zero follow-up, zero remarketing, zero touchbacks to their current customers. They're all shiny-eyed looking for new customers, but they do nothing to retarget current customers. And I'm just going to tell you, if someone spends $1,500, $2,000 for you guys that do PPF, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at your shop, and they don't hear a single thing from you afterwards, this is just human nature, they feel a little bit ignored. They feel a little bit ignored, and they feel like you got what you wanted out of them, which was a check, a fistful of cash, a swipe of the credit card or whatever, and now you're done with them and you're on to the next one. I've felt that way with businesses, and businesses will feel that way with you also, because you are selling them a luxury. You're not selling them a commodity. I don't expect Dollar General, if I have to run in there and grab a bottle of ketchup, to follow up with me and be like, hey, we've missed you since you bought that last bottle of ketchup and the loaf of buns for the burgers you were grilling that day because it was convenient to go in the Dollar General. That's a commodity. Going into a luxury detail shop and buying something that's really to make them feel good, to give them comfort, to make their life a little easier, but cleaning and taking care of the vehicle to detail their car for them, that's a luxury. And luxury buyers expect luxury service. I'll give you an example of this, okay? I usually once a year, my wife and I, we go down to Orlando for a few days. We drop off the kids, my parents in South Carolina. We go down to Orlando and spend a few days down there. And we stay at one of the, I don't go broke on it, but we stay at a nice resort that has great customer service, amenities, and all this other stuff. It's fun. Okay. We went to Tennessee a few weeks ago and we stayed at a resort that had really great views and the rooms were nice, but the hotel didn't have a restaurant inside of it. The amenities were not that great. It didn't have like an in-hotel store. Other than the room and the views, which in the mountains, that's what you're going for, it didn't have that much going on for. So even though there were a couple of things that I really liked about this hotel, I probably won't be back simply because it's a luxury experience for me to go on vacation. Okay, I mean, I make a good living doing this, but I'm not some, multi-millionaire boomer that just goes on vacation all the time and it's just money type thing for me. I'm just not that guy. So when I do it, I want to have the full experience and I want to have all that convenience. And basically, if I'm going to spend that type of money, I want to have a great experience. Whenever you're doing a detailing service, whether you are lower end jobs, hey, there's nothing wrong. And I've said, I wish there were more detailers that were wanting to start up that would do a couple of details a day for $250, $350, $450 and make great money doing that than to have an empty schedule because all they want to do is ceramic coating jobs. I would love to see that. So whether you are a lower ticket operator or a higher ticket operator, the experience and them hearing back from you and you understanding what they're wanting out of this, man, that's everything. That's how you make money. That's how you get customers back in the door. It is 10 times less expensive to reactivate a current customer than it is to acquire a new one. So for instance, in your marketing, if you're doing retargeting ads, if you're doing email blasts, if you're doing special offers, if you're just freaking communicating with current customers and it costs you $100 to acquire a brand new customer, statistically, your customer reactivation cost, so to get a current customer to do business with you again, is going to be around $10. Now, I don't know what your numbers are, but statistically in the service industry, it rolls right around that. So let's say you have a high customer acquisition cost. You're doing really high-end work. I know a couple of you guys, you do really high-end work, PPF, the whole shebang. You may have a $200 customer acquisition cost. Well, reactivation costs through marketing going to be around $20 in general. None of this is exact, but in general, in the service industry, that's what we're looking at. But a lot of detailers don't want to do this. And I'll tell you why a lot of detailers don't want to face this. A lot of detailers don't want to talk about this. It's almost an awkward topic of conversation for a lot of detailers, is because a lot of them know that the work, the experience, their setup, their communication sucks. So they would rather blame it on the economy, their local market, their competitors. Oh, I put a bad coating on the car, some other thing. They would rather blame that than look at their actual daily operation, how they communicate, intake customers, follow up with customers, remarket to customers. They would rather just, like an ostrich, as they say, even though they don't actually do this, put their head in the sand and pretend like there's nothing wrong in their business than to face the reality that they're just doing a crappy job, not only in the initial service and follow-up, but in the remarketing also. And they're missing massive, massive opportunities. If I look at my shop here, 3 out of the 5 cars I have right now are current customers. There's 3 out here that are ready to go. There's 2 in here. This one's completed. There's another one over here that's in process. 3 out of the 5 are current customers. A lot of people ask this question, well, I did a ceramic coating for them. How much do they really need to come back? Getting those customers back in for regular maintenance appointments is the key to keeping that connection, so that when they go to buy a new car, 2 years, 3 years, statistically, it's around 3 years. It's went up. It used to be 2 to 3 years people were traded, but it's went up dramatically. And now a lot of people are owning their cars longer. Nothing wrong with that, but are you keeping that connection with them? Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to figure out how to get these ceramic coating customers back in because you're right, they're spending $1,500, $2,000 for a one time thing, and so I put a package together to make it more of a we're going to guarantee your ceramic coating as long as you own it, but you got to come back every year. And I've had really really good response with that. I'm only charging $190 for it,
Yeah.
but if that gets them back in, maybe they're going to bring their other car in. Maybe they're going to add an interior detail to it. I mean, for to wash next to your car that's ceramic coated, I mean, we could do it in half an hour with two people. And then, if it's still working good, great. If it's not, we throw a cap on it and it looks awesome again. And it's going to make everything look better. And everyone seems to be really, really good about it. I've just started this for about 2 months now, so I haven't really got too much. Trying to think of a way to get back to my older customers to get back in. But a lot of them, they don't. I send emails out. A lot of them don't read email. I see my open rate. It's like 15, 20. So most of the customers don't see it. So
put it in the chat, guys. What do you guys charge for a ceramic coating maintenance package? I would love to. Kevin's at 190, and I want to see what some other people do. What do you charge for just a basic ceramic coating maintenance package? And I'll reveal mine, although you could look it up on my website if you wanted to, and my reasoning for it. I would love to see what other people
I'm
charge.
thinking $109 for basically a car wash is what they're getting.
Yeah,
it's pretty much what.
So $350 with interior detail.
That's kind of steep, but it's also not bad.
Yeah.
Oh no, well that they get added interior yet to be extra.
Yeah. I actually David said that he does $350 with interior. With an interior detail, that's good pricing. Yeah, because I mean it probably takes longer to do the interior than it does to do, wash it and do the ceramic maintenance, stuff like that. So what Justin said, 200 exterior, push for every 6 months. Okay, so that's a little more frequent. Yeah, that's good. So I do
my
go ahead.
Interior, the price pretty high.
Yeah,
just because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're all pretty close to the same wavelength. I charge $149 for an interior, or I'm sorry, for an exterior maintenance package alone. No interior, no redoing the glass coating, which I add on for $95, and that is it almost doubles the price of the whole surface, and it takes like 10 minutes to reapply the glass coating. And let me explain my rationale for what people have criticized for a very lower price. It takes me around 40 minutes. My process is pretty sound. So I'm still making a really good hourly wage. Last year, I did 267 maintenance packages for customers. And I just worked them in around my regular schedule. What it does is it keeps the connection alive and it keeps them excited about their ceramic coating. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Asking them if they want to book later. If nothing else, setting them up an automated reminder. I'm sure you're doing stuff like that as well. And people in our industry, overall in this industry, have really started to, I don't know if it's like a high horse thing, an ego thing or what, but we've started to look down on small jobs. Take the amount of maintenance packages I did last year and multiply it times 150. And then you add the fact that about 30% want their glass coating renewed. They have a panel that has a big scuff on it, and I have to polish it and recoat it for $150 a panel. It's stupid easy money. It's stupid easy money to do maintenance on cars, and it reactivates them. It keeps these people excited. Even when I was with G-Technic, the big saying was see to it and send it. Even Justin, I think Justin still uses G-Technic, and probably a lot of other people do on here. Great stuff. And that was like, even if your customer has abused it, neglected it, if they beat it to death, do a good decon wash on it, put C2 on it, and send it. Yep, absolutely. So all of these things let me just throw this in there for the ones that don't regularly do this. I really won't do them anymore if I don't code it, but a lot of people don't know that quote unquote maintenance can be done to a ceramic coating. They don't know that because their detailer didn't offer it. The dealership they got it from, which if it's from a dealership, it's probably going to be dead by the time it gets to you, but they don't even know that maintenance on a ceramic coating is possible. They don't even know that you can decontaminate it and put toppers on it and refresh it and all that other stuff. They don't even know that. So, I mean, if you've never done this, if you're not reactivating people, send an email that says, did you know we can do maintenance on your ceramic coating? With a question mark. I mean, I could probably do that, even though I talk to every single customer before, after, during the service that come in once a year for maintenance, blah, 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 blah. I could probably send that email and get 25 emails back. Oh, wow, I forgot about this. Can you set me up? When was the last time you actually solicited through an email blast? Because that's easily it's the simplest way to do it. And say, hey, did you know we can do maintenance and refresh your ceramic coating? If your business is slow right now, send the email. Get in 15, 20 people for maintenance and then upsell them on, hey, your windshield coat, get them in there, do the wash and be like, hey, your windshield coating's looking a little fizzled. Because let's face it, that's the first thing to wear out on any ceramic coated car is if you put a glass coating on the windshield. Go ahead, Kevin.
Have you used that? I think I have seen you use the decontamination wash from CCI yet.
Yeah, I have.
How well is that working on older coating? I'm sure after a year or two, you probably don't need it. But I mean, I've used the Armor before, and that works pretty well. But I saw this is a 2-step. I just got it in the mail yesterday.
It works really well. So I have used it. Very nice product. It's a heavy duty type thing. I wouldn't use it on every single wash, but if you have a car that came in that's really contaminated, dirty, and you really need heavy duty acid and base foam, it's really great for that. So that being said, I don't believe that hydrophobics are supposed to last forever. So if you have a car that's been beat to crap by automatic car washes, poor wash technique, you ceramic coated it 6 years ago in the ceramic coating, the hydrophobics are half of what they used to be. That wash is going to give you a really good base to put AMP or C2 or whatever it is you use on it. And so it is a really great base to get it really clean so you can put your toppers back on there and you'll get a better result from it. So to that respect, I really like the product. It cleans really, really well. Just make sure you're using it in a concentration strong enough to do what it's supposed to do. I will say that if you're doing it with a contact wash, it removes about 80% of the stuff that you would remove from claying, but it's not going to remove like hard contaminants like sap, tar,
Right, like the rust spots.
I've seen it pull some light ferrous iron off. It's very acidic. That's why you have to do the basic wash on it. So yeah, it's a great step. Foam it, rinse it, foam it, hand wash it, done. And you're ready to touch it up and put something back on it. But one more thing I want to hit on here is, let's say you're doing these things. You're looking at your quality. You're touching back with them. You're doing all the right things on a consistent basis. One, I always go back, this is one of the 15 reasons why people aren't doing business with you. The timing isn't right. They're busy. They've got a lot going on. August can be one of the slowest months for detail shops simply because back to school, last minute vacations, disgustingly hot weather, a bunch of other reasons. That can be a reason. But some customers, and I don't want you to use this as an excuse, but it is reality. Some customers will not become return customers. They move, their financial position changes, their life changes, they sell their car, something goes on in their life, and they're simply not going to come back for whatever. People pass away, things happen to them. So you're going to have about a 10 to 20% fallout rate of your customer base simply because their life changes, their circumstances change, and they're no longer in a position to do business with you, which is why you don't want to just rely on your current customers, but you don't want to solely focus on acquiring new customers either. my marketing, and everyone's a little bit different with this. I know how much volume I can handle, but my marketing is about 70-30. 70% to my current customer base, which is very large. And then 30% is geared towards the acquisition of new customers and new clients. You guys have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to add to this? Because it's an awkward conversation because a lot of detailers ask this, but the primary answer to it is your service is mediocre, your customer experience is mediocre, is not what they want to face. And David's sitting in his awesome showroom there. His customer experiences is pretty freaking down pat. I think he's posted pictures of his showroom and stuff online before, and it's absolutely legit. That man has the customer experience down pat. But sometimes we don't want to look at that. We don't want to look at that because there's a painful truth that we're just not where we want to be. Guys, got anything to add? Anything you would like to chime in on this? All right,
Are you sending out
Go ahead.
emails to them?
I'm usually sending the reminders every 10 months through Urable to get their maintenance package and stuff back in. So it gives them a window to kind of remember it in. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I have to be very careful about sending out email blasts because I'm just when I correspond with people, I've trained myself to do it, but it in a good way, it backfires because it sounds like when I write those types of email blasts, it just sounds like an old buddy striking up a conversation, and I get freaking buried when I send out an email blast. I get buried. I need a interior detail. I need a maintenance package done. I just bought a new car, and all that stuff is good, but like it will come in such a flood when I do that, when I send out an email blast, that I will spend 3 hours that day just trying to set everyone up that's wanting work done. And for those people that say that, oh, I send out emails and I get zero response, here's a little simple trick. Just put, let's see, red clay detailing updates. I don't know any, Sarah, I don't know anything about your business, but just put red clay detailing updates 2026. And it intrigues people because they're like, what's updated? What's new? And they'll click on the email just to see the update because they don't want to be left out. If you haven't sent an email blast out in a long time, start with that one. I'll do that one. Visual Pro Detailing Updates 2026 and 40% open rate. Why? Because they want to be updated. They want to be left out. What's new? People always are interested in something that is new and fresh and different. And if you do that, you're going to get some response rate. And within that email, don't have freaking Chat GPT write it. Write it like you were just writing the email to one person. Even though the blast is going out to 300 people, 800 people, 1,800 people, even though it's going out to a lot of people, write the email blast like you are writing to one person, and you will get tremendous response. Why? Because you wrote it like to one person, even though they get that, and they're going to read that as it was written just for me. They wrote this email just for flipping me. And the response to that is going to be tremendous. I mean, if someone put yourself in those shoes, if you get an email from a company, a local service company or a product company, and you feel like it's the marketing director from, I don't know, Hey Dude Shoes, sent me personally an email to see if I liked my Hey Dude, wouldn't you feel much more likely to respond to that? Because it's like, this person really took time out of their day to focus just to me. And it's fantastic. Yeah. And I bet the once a month, what's new in the shop, I bet those ones do really well because it keeps people connected. And I'm just saying, algorithms suck on social media, guys. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse as there's more content creators, influencers, and all this stuff out there. it's getting worse and worse and worse. If you're not viral level content, the algorithm's not going to show it to very many people. But that email list, that thing is freaking gold because you own that, you control it. It's not based on an algorithm. And yes, people can unsubscribe, but mostly they won't unsubscribe. And if they do unsubscribe, they weren't going to be customers with you anyway. It's probably better to just get them off there and clean up your list. All right, guys, great talk. I'm glad everyone's doing well. If you have any questions, you need anything from me, Mark at certifiedprofessionaldetailers.com. We will talk to you all very soon.